Peace, peace, peace. I need to get somewhere where there's some lighting. It's been a minute. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Oh, come on in here. Wipe up. Okay, y'all can see me. Man. First, let's give an honor to Source, to the Creator, to the All. Whatever your high power is. Let's start this off with gratitude. Been doing a lot of self-reflecting lately, and more so a lot of having to do with a lot of these transits that's happening right now, a lot of shifts that's happening. I'm sure a lot of us can relate to it. But for the most part, this is very vital for a lot of self-reflecting when it comes to I'm just see if I could just go with the flow with this. I don't really have a lot of like a huge topic because I've been getting a lot of awareness, coming to a lot of self-realizations within myself, reassessing, reviewing, reflecting. I feel like there's a huge thing in the collective right now, which we're all, depending on where you are, your awareness consciously, and more so where you are on your healing journey or your journey, spiritual journey, wherever you are. Just gonna share with y'all just from my own awareness right now, where I feel where a lot of us are in this ever changing, shifting moments where we're either coming into our own or we're learning more about a lot of these transits, which really is helping me. When I say review or reflect on my life, it's so important right now and vital that a lot of us, or that I am, being very mindful of what I'm accepting into my reality, my energetic field, in my presence. And so a lot of which it's I've been having just talks with myself. I always tell people, don't ever beat yourself up over decisions you have made. I've been having just talks with, reflecting a lot with my partner, because one thing we have to, well, if we aren't aware of, is that for one, everyone is going to have their preconceived notion or perception of what it is you should be doing, how you're going to be doing it. They're going to talk. There's going to be hate. There's going to be whatever it is anytime you're coming into or standing in your own power. Most people don't know what that looks like. Some of us are having to regain that strength and awareness on who we are. And I speak about that a lot when I talk about regaining our truth of who we've always been or becoming, but it's more so how it connects us to being authentic and not being afraid to stand in that. So again, just this which has been very helpful, is that the more I detach or distance myself from that which doesn't align or resonate with me, my life has become so much more peaceful, so much more vibrant, so much more balanced, aligned, neutral. And it's almost like there's an expectancy or an excitement for what's to come, but at the same time, knowing where you are within helps you able to see the more depths, the more deeper you have gotten into yourself, you're able to see as a guardian, um, as a as a being that who has acknowledged its own shadow or darkness, or if you want to call them shortcomings, and now realizing how much, as you stand in that and accept it and embrace it, the hatred that comes with that, like the opposition of that, the opposing, hatred. But anywho, again, a lot of which I'm just coming on now because, again, I've just been really, with everything that has been going on, I had to really take a step back for a moment to realize, like, am I allowing myself to be consumed by what others have said, or what others will do, or the naysayers, or things that really doesn't matter? Because it's the growth and where we get to is how we respond rather than react. Um, Emotional intelligence is something that's so vital that I realize that humanity has steered away from so much. It's because of so much imbalances, or um, the instability of how we all have been affected by uh, narcissism, control, manipulation, just things that we all have witnessed. Some of us have witnessed, or some of us have been affected by, whether it be in our childhood up to now. And the beauty of how life truly reflects that is how I'm seeing it from my own experience, having to go through experiencing naysayers um, slander my name, or try to devalue my character just by simply speaking and standing in my truth. And how that could look is when you come within, or no longer resonate with things that are low vibrational, or in a sense, you just simply won't tolerate the shit no more, with the disrespect, um, the verbal attacks, the threats, etc. Everyone has a breaking point. And the reality is that I find it so funny that people feel that. It's just like I look at I look at and I learned so much from reflecting from my princess. It's like she reflects back so much to how I'm able to see, like, helps me stay so present to where I'm able to see how what I do will affect and have some type of effect on her. Will effect or have some type of effect. It's like a ripple effect. And it's like going up to her and say, and this helps me reflect on my own past and childhood things that really, which I'm gonna dive into a lot. Where where I'm getting to is how a lot of us are here to have new perspective, new mindsets, new objectives, or new ideas, or as you're on the healing journey, these attacks spiritually, or the attacking verbally coming from people who are probably unhealed or haven't resolved their own traumas, and most of the time coming from people who their programming, or due to their own inability to really see both sides, it motivates me even more and empowers me even more to continue doing what I'm doing, as well as you. When you look around, and I was expressing this to my partner, I said, it's wild that, look at where we are. We should be grateful, or I am grateful for the growth. Like, no one knows. People People can say they know who you are by simply judging or seeing it, or looking up or trying to see what you have done. And even with that saying that goes that you cannot judge a book by its cover. Um, and a lot of which brings me to the awareness of how people can say they know who you are, but have no idea who I am. Meaning that you only know the depths of who you are. Literally, the depths of what you went through emotionally, mentally, spiritually. You didn't give up. Surrendering to the path and letting it unfold, because the vision was given to you. You were given the foresight, the vision to see, and having that unwavering faith when people come and attack the fact that to say, well, so focus on what you're not doing rather than being, and I was expressing to my partner, expression, and I expressed this in a way of like, do not get confused with monitoring or surveillance rather than support. What does that mean? It means that again, as you bring in these new perspectives going through your healing journey, you, whomever you are, you, the source, the creator will reveal those who which are monitoring and watching you rather than supporting you, whether it be at your lowest of lows or your highest of highs. That's what I see as genuine support. Is that, are you going to, whether I'm here, whether I'm there, are you supporting the fact that, are you supporting or are you envious? And this is what a lot of us, like these pivotal moments and shifting moments where there's a division between, right now, I feel the shift is a part of people who are vibrating at an envious and jealous, or more so self-hatred, fearful place, and not wanting to detach or knowing how what it is, because there's an emotional attachment to the idea or what you should be doing and how you should be doing it in their perspective or their eye or their way of how we should and do things here. And in reality, a lot of us came here now with new perspectives. See, we had to learn our way, our own dysfunctionality. We had to learn what we went through, how it not only affected us, but those that came before us, how it affected them. See, the awareness isn't just about what we're doing and the action that we're taking. And then I expressed to my partner, I said, it's amazing what we're doing now. Just you, everyone else. We're doing things now intentionally. Like I have an intention, my intentions, if my intentions is pure, anything that's unpure or not in alignment with the divine will be removed. So why should I question anyone that has been removed? Because sometimes those that did come in and want to help, was it really support or was it surveillance? Or was it something that wanted to just monitor and surveillance every step or everything that I'm doing rather than support the ascension, the where I'm blossoming into? Meaning that there is no competitiveness or egotistical motives in the mix of anything. So a lot of us are in that shift to where trusting yourself, trusting your connection to the divine, no matter externally what other people are doing. See, the faith that people say they have in God is, your faith in God has to be greater, or your faith in yourself, God being within, or your creator, your source. Because if we are the reflection or made in the image of the creator, that makes us co-creators. So we're having this experience through the eyes of the creator. Your perspective, I said this to my partner, I said, let me break this down to you, because this is the beauty of a lot of what's Let me show you how beautiful the creator, or however you see your higher power, is. We were sitting here one day and I said, something just came to me. I got this. It's amazing. I said, even if I tell you something about what you should do or whatever, we're all seeing it completely different. I said, for once, look at our princess. You see how tall she is, or her height? She's barely comes above my waist, but she comes to your waist. I said, even if she wanted to see the world like I did, it's not even possible. Because she's at this level, or her awareness is completely different than yours, mine, or anyone. Because, and this helps me interact with her in a way to where I have to squat and really see eye to eye. Did you hear that? Literally eye to eye. And this is why I expressed to her, I said, even me being taller than you, is that there was an elder that shared with me. He said, or I saw a video or something that was saying, he said, next time you have a conversation as men, he said, sit down. Sit with those that you love or in your home, because that right there, and this is a thing about observation, or I actually went to school for psychology, but it did not make sense to me about the school structures, because I have my own idea of, again, to why it wasn't in alignment. This isn't no judgment for what everybody else does or whatever they do, but it just was not in alignment for me, because it didn't make sense for me to be in classrooms. Everyone goes back to the perception. Everyone's going to receive information. It's like a database. Everyone's going to receive things differently than what I would do. I may have more questions than this person. If you're in a class of 20, 30, 40 people, one person is at the front, and you're asking them when you have a question or answer to raise their hand. And then, I was at a place of where I felt like I process things faster than maybe someone else, like a math problem or whatever it is. Like, I process things, meaning that I came to this awareness that I was a solutionist, because in reality, the greatest knowledge an elder shared with me is someone that can find a solution to their own problems. So getting back to the perception or the perspective of things, even having a professor there and all these people, I can tell everyone as a professor or as that teacher that, if you do this and do that this way, and you're asking 30 to 40 people to come up with the same or similar, writing topic, whatever it is, and then you're grading them to what? To decide if they're a failure, or basically someone else is determining your success. That's outside of you. But the creator and the divine has already seen you and deemed you divine, brilliant, intelligent, advanced, limitless, beautiful, vibrant. So this is the beauty of the awareness of being what it feels to be untouchable, immovable, aligned, regaining those fragmentations, those parts of yourself that you left with mom, dad, or this person and that person that told you, that projected onto you that you wasn't going to be this, or you don't have this, or how you going to get this if you don't have this, and it's already been within the whole time. So going back to the perception or perspective, again, how the princess, she's, it's the labeling. It's the perception of how she perceives it. She's here, her mom's here, and I'm here. That doesn't make me better, bigger, in a sense of overpowering them. Because when you look at the feminine and masculine principles, how energy is that we all have that within us. We just express it differently. We all learn from each other. In a home, this is the new perspectives that we are creating, is that And it may sound, if it don't resonate, don't make it fly. I've had people attack not only myself but her mother because they've accused me of being an occultist. And then it's the funny thing about this is that, what is that saying that people fear what they can't overstand or understand. People people hate what they cannot comprehend. That's not my fucking problem. That's not my issue. Because you're telling me to question who I am to fit in your box and fit into who it is I should be for you. For you, you're asking me to. This is society. Let social media. This is your platform. This is you're asking me to to try to be small for who? You. A star doesn't become small. There's nothing small about the divine. There's nothing. Even when you get down to the microcosms or the atoms and all those things scientifically, these things again still make up in the grand scheme of things. Whether you call it the smallest of smalls, it's you're still something grander or greater than anyone can ever project and assume that you should be. How dare you think that I shouldn't love myself? I shouldn't honor myself. I shouldn't stand in my power. I shouldn't be who I am because what? Your false accusations or your false perceptions or your truth. It could be your truth. I was telling my part. Again, getting back to the perceptions. If How dare me tell my princess that she's not great. She's not beautiful. She's not divine in just who she is now. See, a lot of us have that responsibility right now. If I allow the bullshit of what other people say to affect me, it will affect her. Or however you say it. If I let that affect me, it will affect her. However, because I don't really like these English terminologies, but you get what I'm saying. That ripple effect, see, some things have to stop here. It don't even have to reach you. So let me show you the beautiful part of where you are. See, as you ascend and elevate, it's like that of like birds or whatever you want to use, is that you're going and walking into places. You're going to be places where let me show you how elevation is an evolution, or how the ascension process or the beauty is that you're so high. And this is where people can confuse confidence with arrogance, or you being you. You're so high on your own. You're so high on life. The awareness of your connection with the divine is that you're able to see. They'll be able to see you. They'll be able to see you, but they won't be able to touch you. So the words or the things, they won't be able to touch you physically. The words, some of these energies or certain things, these people, the distortion or their dysfunctionality. See, when they no longer have access to you, and their access is denied, like they're trying to swipe and get in, and it turns, what does it turn red, or it's like See, when they no longer have access, then there's all these false accusations. There's all these things which and truly is motivation. Or where we are now, we alchemize, we transmute it, and we just simply laugh because we realize that these outside noises or these external things really has its value, but it isn't more valuable than who you are. See, once we give more value and energy to what other people say, and we allow that, or no longer allow that to validate us, or when we even give validation to it, see, we don't have to accept anything other. They're going to call you everything, but that doesn't mean it has to affect who you are and who you've always been. See, that goes back to childhood, where a lot of us have experienced these seeds being planted from people that we deemed that loved us. And in reality, they never loved themselves, or they never knew what it was that we're doing now as guardians. So they're going to oppose, or they're going to attack that which they don't, that in reality, their foundation is crumbling. This is why I have compassion. I have compassion, but I don't have room for bullshit. See, a lot of these elders, or a lot of people, see their reality, or what they lived in the matrix, or their upbringing. See, their foundations are crumbling, and they're panicking, and you're attacking the ones who are here to build and recreate. Just as this has happened through many generations, you're attacking the ones who are here to reiterate, rebuild, review, reassess, recreate, who hold the blueprint. See, I give gratitude to those that came before me, because every one of them carry the blueprint. See, we all are the blueprint. This going back to the perception and the perspective of how I reflect back to the princess. And it's not that I have to hide myself from her, because that's the thing about what the star sees, or these children come in as. They're so innocent to where they don't ruin themselves. So when you come here, let me show you the accountability. See, our own self-destruction, us right now in this generation, was only caused by, or the effects of that self-destruction was fueled by something that came before us. See, this is the thing. See, the divine removes those people that don't want to hold accountability for their part in that. See, I expressed to my partner, I was like, see, this is why I'm not going to be around people, or, things be removed for a purpose. I'm not going to question why, I was at that place questioning why people, why I couldn't hold on. And when I try to hold on, it caused me more suffering, because my own emotional attachment that everyone got to go with me. Everyone got to go through the door with me. And sometimes you got to realize it's meant for you to go through doors with you, because that's something you need to receive. That doesn't mean you cannot come back and help others. See, sometimes you're the captain of the ship, and everybody in that boat ain't trying to steer or row or paddle whichever direction you're going. See, sometimes there's a capacity limit. See, there's a capacity, a weight limit, to where you want to bring everybody else, and in reality, it's only meant for either you or those that are in alignment with you. See, sometimes you got to go by yourself. And even with that, you can't always go back and try to help everybody. Because even when you try to go back or review, see, going back to something, and not really seeing, well, when you return to something, do you see the awareness of what you can do differently to change that trajectory, to change that, that path of, what, I can change this time, That's how I feel when people do reconnect, or we reconnect, like reunions or certain things, is that for me, I realize, like, what could I do differently, and not so much focus on this person, but sometimes you have to see the awareness of where that person's mindset is, where they are. But in reality, a lot of us, one of the greatest things I had to do was give myself closure. I had to give myself closure on a lot of things, to where if I shut this door, I don't need to reopen it. And a lot of people are going to be piss poor morally, but in reality, a lot of us are here again to reestablish principles and morals, to honor that which it may not make sense now, and it don't have to make sense to certain people. But just as much there is hatred, there is going to be, tenfold of support, because no matter how people want to accept who you are, the deep acceptance has to come within. So again, the perception of how my princess is that's a great responsibility, to even see how, if I don't see the dysfunctionality in what the women I've experienced and how they were affected by not just men, but the women that also had some type of influences on them, how they impacted their lives. Do you know the beauty in the, and see, this is what a lot of people fear. A lot of people fear, being in that, and that's not my judgment and not my call, but it's an honor because it helps me see who I really am to the depths in my own childhood woundings, to be able to look in her eyes, to be able to see that, and to be able to even honor and have a partner who also sees the awareness in that. This, it's not to convince people to accept or whatever. It's just no bullshit over here. Like I said, you may know me, but this is just something you see me here. But those that are in alignment within, you are here. A lot of us are here to step up and to do something completely different than what it looked like before, the generation before. We're not supposed to. You wonder why your path isn't becoming, harmonious and in alignment, because the idea of even trying to be what my mother and father or people that came before me, if I listen to that, I had men that I saw growing up who, in the society, they honored womanizing. They honor that. Do I get mad because I've had people try to attack me on that? But in actuality, I had to come to terms in divine timing with that. See, where I'm getting at is that it's easy for us to attack, to keep, it's easy for us to attack others or judge others because you come from a narcissistic, judgmental society that wants to, a society that is so consumed by attention, and the attention that they're giving everything else, they don't even give it to themselves. See, a lot of us are at this place now where this is the beauty of where I am, and it's so amazing, is that life is truly a balance. If I try to give so much, I was at a place where I was giving so much to others rather than myself. A lot of us don't know what that looks like. In a home, like, this is for those of you that know, that know about tarot or whatever, astrology, just anything. A lot of where we are now, I talk about inheritance. This is my 10 of Pentacles, or, what's the other one? Yeah, this is my 10 of Pentacles, like, to have inner peace, harmony, balance, and literally, in however that materialized, I'm able to still have that inner peace. No matter who wants to attack or verbalize or try to devalue who I am, that peace is unmeasurable. That inner peace, that harmony, knowing that where I am, this is something my soul, my essence needed. A home where I can rest peacefully, where I can create. But you have someone who also creates. Does that always mean things are just peachy? No, it's the reality when you have someone or attract someone who's facing their own traumas. I expressed to my partner, I said, the perspective is so differently. It's like I expressed it. We're going to have more videos or topics about this. Is that for me to even think to tell you what you should and how you should do it, or how, what? I'd rather to express to my partner than empower you to face and be who you are. Because no one can be a better than you. Because I can only be a better me than me. In partnership, or a partnership, or if you want to call it like a union or whatever, a marriage or whatever, it's so vital for you or myself to be so focused on me and loving me and showing up for me, and that you have a partner who knows the importance in that. See, now think of the opposite of that in society and what you've seen. That means like you got people talking about 50-50. They got to have this. And if they don't have this and they're not, uh, then that person can accept them or they're not obligated to be in their life. Or it's just basically all these things that creates division within. And so they wonder why they're attracting a partner or something else externally that reflects their own inner conflict. Now, partners previously, any of that, all of that was a lesson to where I'm at now because I gotta know I gotta be with me the rest of my life. And what that means is that when I get up, I gotta show up for me. I didn't have men. Matter of fact, let's get back to that topic of how what I saw growing up is men and women who you had women who not all, but I saw women who menize, if you want to use that term, like use men out of from their woundedness, like it was like a get back or revengeful because of their own pain. So their emotional attachment to what they either experienced with their father, their unresolved issues and traumas, whatever they didn't access or accept or healed internally, their inner wounds, they literally projected that or reenacted that or looped that, that cycle or whatever continuously through men. Men I saw as well that continuously would go woman to woman, hurt them, do certain things because they know and then it's not to say to blame them, it's just they didn't know, they were never shown what it is to like where I'm at this moment. It's like get up and go to the mirror or daily take my walks because I know I need to be with myself and I love myself. I'm beautiful. I'm divine. And thoughts that are coming up to where I need to, thoughts that are again surfacing from the past or what, in relationships or memories of, childhood experiences, mentally trying to get through that daily. And I told my partner, I said, and someone gonna come into my life and try to tell me I should hate and feel shame and guilt because of what I've already made peace with. I should hate and not love who I am now. If you don't kick, man, go check yourself. And that what? How I shouldn't be what? Like really see the mental instability, the mental illness in society, yo. It's like again, the men that I saw beat on women or do certain things, and in reality, there is consequences no matter what. We can no none of us can outrun what, and that's what karma is. It's a great thing because what you put out returns. But it's the beauty of how you transmute and alchemize that. How you, and notice, anytime you're doing great or doing better for yourself and honoring and showing up for you, men and women, little boys and little girls, even when you show up for you, men and women, especially women, all of us, the oneness of all, let me just say that. Someone is watching. And through not just someone, but most importantly, like I can't tell, like forget about the haters and stuff. It's easily said and done. But the youth, most importantly, it makes me reflect on like, there's people that say, oh man, like people that know me, like, or that grew up with me, some of them that just know me as TJ or dude that play ball, man, why you didn't go to the NBA, da, da, da. There was numerous of things that I felt I should have done. Do I regret? No, there were times where, like, for those of you that don't know, let's see here. I had, it's 2023 or whatever. My first offer to play overseas was 2016 after a tournament. I had probably after this, probably like 4 or 5 offers to play overseas. And where I'm getting at is this, is that, we can assume that what we're here to do has to do with what we really think we want, in a way, what we think we want, but in reality what we signed up for. Those of you that have your higher calling or your higher self, those of you are aware of this, is that you assume that, oh, I do this so good and so well, and a lot of, man, yada, yada. And some of us even get to that place where we can feel the creator of God, like, you cursing me because every time I want to do this, it ain't working, or da 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 da. Like, but I'm good at it, and that's where the doubt comes in. That's where the depression, because we don't feel like we're successful without these things, or trying to accomplish these things. And in reality, success or spiritual wealth, or your spiritual well-being, being spiritually rich, or it's in you, not on you. Just think about, sometimes, if I expressed to my partner that I was like, man, or other people too, I was like, if I would have did those things and played ball somewhere, but now that I see my princess now, and just the bigger picture of it all, not only would she have not been here, but it's no telling what I would have done with the mindset, the immaturity, or just where I was mentally, spiritually, physically. What would have happened? And the higher calling is the surrenderings to knowing that what I'm doing now, and the peace, because in doing those things, I would have just been doing it for external value, which no value at all. I would have been doing it for an external validation, to be seen, to be, and then in getting what I was getting, I would have become exhausted spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. But where I'm at now, and how I realize that I still can do that, even at the health that I am, doesn't matter the age, because I feel I'm timeless, and taking care of myself now, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, all connects to the physical aspect of, to where how now it can be in a more fulfilled way, in a more wholesome way, and seeing how what I do now intentionally will affect any and everyone, either not in my presence, but after me. See, that's what legacy is about. See, the beauty of going back to the whole perspective of, again, like, the beauty of seeing these men and women, you had to see the effects, and how you had to see the effects, and then how it affected you. So that's where accountability comes in. See, accountability, it takes courage. My partner and I was talking about this. It takes courage to speak your truth and not be concerned about how others are going to view you. It takes courage to stand up. It takes courage to get up and go do what you're doing. It takes courage to even be a better version of you. And then, most importantly, grace. Grace to even grant yourself grace. I had no idea what grace was. I had no idea what a lot of these things meant. And in reality, that's how things are timeless, because see, the divine gives you inklings, or give you things, or you come to that self-realization in divine timing, or it's all orchestrated to where you feel, oh, I got to do this right then and there. And in reality, that rejection, or why that didn't fall through sometimes, was because for your protection. See, how many of us right now can say we are fulfilled, or we are in alignment to where, man, I got peace right now. I'm not even going to sit here like I feel like I need to be doing something. A lot of us are the collective, a lot of us are shifting so much that a lot of us, women and men, are seeing how exhausted we are. Because you've had a system prior, society that was running off of something that had no value. Because if you don't know you, and if it's not teaching you to love you, to empower you, then you're obviously pouring from an empty cup. And what are you teaching the generations after you? Oh, go do this, go do this, go do this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Work, work, work. What? I used to beat myself up until I had to get to this place where, I can sit back now. I can really just chill. Because then I had to get to that mindset. I said, why are these people attacking me? Why is all this going on? And the spirit was like, that's an initiation. That's preparing you. That's literally the fact of what you're about to receive or coming into. See, a lot of us are prepared to receive the harvest, but are you in that energy? Are your hands open? See, a lot of people are mad. Someone told me this years ago, they was like, how are you going to receive with your hands balled up? See, some people are mad. Not that it matters, but you're here. I need you to be here. Your hands open to receive. How you going to receive from the divine? How you going to receive? Are you angry, or you got all this built up mad because of what somebody else said or what they didn't do? None of that matters. You matter. It matters that you show up for you. And some people may call it selfish, but life is a balance when you have to be, because that's a balance between being selfish in the sense of like showing up for you and being selfless. That's just my, whatever you want to call it. But again, it's like no one can come along and tell you what you should and shouldn't do, how you should be going about your life. Of course, they're going to talk. Who cares? Like at this point, it's like, again, you know what it took for you to get there in that cocoon stage. And as you will blossom and fly away, that's fine. You will land, you will soar, or you will land and come amongst those who are aligned, who've aligned their heart and mind, who aligned their mind and heart, who have done the inner work. Now, others that haven't, that's a process they have to go through. So again, going back to the fact of how people have coming in and saying all these things, I realize I'm like, you know what? Obviously, I counter it. I counter it with, affirmations or realizing that that's not my thoughts. That's not for me to accept. That's their perception. Because a lot of what I've learned, even through the partnership, again, even if I share something with someone, my truth can look different than their truth. They'll see it like, oh, I should do this. Because I can express to my partner, well, you know what? This is my opinion. This is how I would go about it. But you're going to go about it in your own way. Now, because a lot of us are coming out of survival mode where we have listened to others and made decisions on their account rather than our own, leaning on to our own intuition, our own guidance. Now that we're recovering that and standing in that, it's not going to be about, no one's fucking dimming my light. There's no such thing. No one has ever. If anyone has dimmed my light, is that I realized that my light wasn't dim. The divine was just covering me up, was protecting me from people who try to do this. Try to blow out my flame. But if you can't, it's not possible. It's not. No one can blow out your flame. No one can dim your light. No one can dim your light. No one ever has. See, that was the manipulation. That was the confusion. Is that once we got to this place, how? You just sit back and laugh. Life really becomes more comical. Life really becomes, when I see my princess and I see how she goes through her emotions, it just shows me like, just like that, she just laughs or just back like nothing ever happened. And it also reflects in me to return to that, to be just, it's not in the sense of careless, but just be the best me, show up as the best version of me. And every day I'm becoming and evolving into the best version of me, however that looks like to someone else in someone else's eyes. And this going back to how I was telling my partner and telling her, I said, at our daughter's height, at our princess's height, she sees us as giants. Her world, she sees everyone bigger. From my idea, how she just physically, she see. But to tell her what she can and cannot do, see, the thing as being goddess is that you can share with her, like, it's like you ever told a child or tell someone like, baby, be careful. for their own protection. But in reality, they're still going to do it. There's no difference. I be relating this so much to people in my life. I be like, bro, I can tell this person, like someone's told me, we all have went through this. Life is about lessons. You have taken no losses in regards to life. Now, those that you have had people that transition, that's differently. But in the way of life, even all of that is a lesson. How can you become empowered? How can you prepare? Literally, life is like lessons for you to prepare for the next lesson. And in that, you're still never the same person, spiritually, mentally, none of that. Your body don't look the same. Your mentality can change, but it's if you're willing to. See, a lot of what's happening right now collectively is that these people that are falling away, and a lot of us going through our grieving and reflecting and evolving to higher awareness and, things people aren't aware. They're going to fall away. They're like, it's what it is. Is that going to stop you from enjoying life? I've had, in the last year, I've had like probably 5 or 6, 7 people I know that transition. And then I'll be sitting there like, then I, reconnect with people, then, you enjoying your life, and here come people like, oh, you rah-rah, da-da-da. And I'm like, to source, like, the creator, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, can I just grieve? Literally I had a cousin that shot another cousin. I don't know what someone's going through. We automatically just judge outside. That's how the world has been. We judge outside. We outside looking in and not really question what the frick is going on with this dude. What drove him to do that? See, it's the mental. It's the mindset of why we don't even realize. And how do we know what we'll do in that position? That's why I be sitting back and be like, you know what? I don't know what happened. I can't judge it. It's just I have compassion for the kids because I knew they're kids. Both of them had kids. Probably 3 or 4. One in prison, the other one you can't even hear from again. And you think I'm going to sit here and be concerned about what somebody got to fucking say right now about me? When I know that everyone, and this is how I have made peace with a lot of things, everyone in my life is going to either leave physically, literally leave physically, walk away or at a point in time, or actually leave this body. So I made peace with that. I've accepted that. It may look different for everyone else, but the beauty of that is that it helps me enjoy every moment with, and create experiences. To even to be in a home, a lot of you is like, what are you chasing? And in reality, a lot of us are here to create environments, communities, or places where we heal, acknowledge things ancestrally to create an environment. That means if you're going through this process just as myself, that means everything from the past or relating to that will be dismantled, destroyed. It will become unfamiliar. And in that unfamiliarity, however you said, you will become more familiar with what resonates with you and what you're here to do and what you're here to orchestrate. I'm going to leave y'all with this, is that, who said this? Well, who that was? I believe it was Kanye. Made this comment, but if it's not, the quote was amazing. I'm going to leave y'all with this. I love y'all. But he said, well, how can I say this? He said, the orchestra, the music, the orchestra, whatever you want to call it. He said, who directs the orchestra? Oh my God, the guy that directs, does that. He said, it was a quote like, he doesn't turn his, the director doesn't turn his back to the director turns his back to the audience, or it doesn't turn around. What was it? The director turns his back to the audience to focus on the orchestra. Literally, the bigger picture. These people that's talking and all like that, that's your fucking audience. That's how I see it. You're the main character. You're orchestrating this. You are the director. Those that are in sync with you, that are aligned with you, are those people that are a part of your orchestra. That doesn't mean you're better than them. Know that y'all need each other, or that y'all know the oneness of it all. And notice that the audience is far more bigger than the orchestra. I'm going to say that again. Notice that the audience is far more bigger than the orchestra. And notice that there's a director. But even in all of that, the people in the orchestra, every person is vital. Every person is valuable to everything. How that music comes, how it's played. Everyone, and it didn't just start like that. Everyone had to become in sync. They had to become harmonized. Even the people that are in the orchestra that have things outside of what's going on. You never know what those people is in the orchestra. You don't know what loss they have. You don't know if they're on their last dime. You don't know, are they about to get evicted? You just don't know what those people, it's like basically it's they doing what they love. Are you doing what they love? I mean, you doing what you love. It ain't supposed to make sense to nobody what I'm doing. In my life, I'm the fucking director right now. And some people can see that, I don't care how you see it. Because in reality, the creator or God, or source, however you want to call your higher power, is directing all of this. But me being a co-creator or me being where I'm at right now, I'm directing this. Even being the main character, I'm directing this orchestra. And those who are in sync, we know our value. See, not only do the director knows the value of the orchestra, but the people that are playing the different instruments, the violin, the trumpet, whatever it is, they know the value of the director. See, that's the thing about giving and receiving, or the reflection. See, some of you got to realize that you're trying to turn around and show the audience who you are. And in reality, you got to turn your back to the audience and direct your own life and be the main character in your own life. And those who love what you do, or who are attentive and are aware of what you're doing, they're going to be right there. And y'all going to make the best music ever. Y'all going to make the best everything ever. That's who you are. That's who I know who I am. So no one can come over here and tell me, oh, see, that's the thing about walking away. See, when you walk away, what are people looking at? You have to turn your back. Everyone. You have to turn your back at some point. And no matter how personal it gets, no matter how, emotional, it'll show the emotional attachments. It'll show the instability. It'll show the blockages. It'll show everything, not only what people refuse to see, but most importantly, what you need to see in yourself. So again, you have to turn your back, because in reality, how much longer are you going to entertain the audience? Because that's all it is. You're entertaining. And in reality, you can only be the best version of you. You are directing your chorus, your choir, whatever you want to call it. And those who are aware of that, know that your value, you being you, see, everyone has their role, the director and everyone else. The director don't take full credit for all of that. I don't take no credit for this. I was sitting here just like you were, and the credit goes to who? The credit goes to the divine, to source. Know thyself to show thyself approved. Peace and blessings. Shalom.